Welcome to Retro Video Playback and episode 11 of Tape Talk Tuesday, an episodic video series where I showcase and discuss various movies on VHS. If you've never seen it, the odds are high that you at least know it. This episode, I'm taking a look at Back to the Future on VHS. The tape's cover, which was also used as the theatrical poster, is flashy, eye-catching, and begs many questions as you go into watching it for the first time. The sleeve is primarily blue. Steven Spielberg presents Back to the Future, a Robert Zemeckis film, covers the top quarter of the front cover, the famous Back to the Future logo prominent with its yellow, orange, and red gradient coloring. Just below is an equally famous image of Michael J. Fox as Back to the Future's protagonist, Marty McFly, one foot in an odd, semi-transparent machine or vehicle of some kind, which the viewer, of course, will discover is a DeLorean car that is transformed into the time machine, featured as heavily throughout the movie as any of the film's main characters. For me, Marty's primary outfit in the movie, as seen on this VHS cover, has got to be one of the most recognizable movie outfits of all time. And I know that's a bold statement when film has presented us with decades of incredible and identifiable costumes. But as a kid, watching this movie so many times and seeing that puffy red vest over top of a denim shirt paired with awesome 80s jeans and topped off with a pair of Nikes, the outfit just seems cool despite it being mocked in the movie, the vest in particular. Over top of the DeLorean is the tagline, "He was never in time for his classes, he wasn't in time for his dinner, then one day, he wasn't in his time at all." This serves as a foreshadow to Marty time traveling from 1985 to 1955 in the movie. Next is a trail of flames left behind the DeLorean when it travels through time, an effect seen more than once in the movie and never gets any less cool, no matter how many times you see it. Beneath the trail of flames is an MCA home video logo, stereo logo, and then the movie's production credits. The edges of this sleeve look almost intentionally worn, giving it the perfect vintage look. The top and the spines feature the same Back to the Future logo as seen on the front of the sleeve. The spines also contain an MCA home video logo, tape particulars, and a barcode on the right spine. The backside of the sleeve starts out with the color identification, movie runtime and rating, and closed captions information. We then have the same title from the front, followed by two stills from the movie. The first features Marty shredding Johnny B. Goode on the guitar at the Enchantment Under the Sea dance, and the other features Christopher Lloyd as Dr. Emmett Brown with Marty, as both characters look on in awe as they watch the DeLorean disappear as it makes a test run. Next is the write-up. One of the top-grossing box office comedies of all time, Steven Spielberg presents an irresistible comic fantasy that accelerates beyond the time barrier with wit, imagination, and infectious wide-eyed wonder. Michael J. Fox stars as Marty McFly, a typical American teenager of the 80s accidentally sent back to 1955 in a plutonium-powered DeLorean time machine invented by slightly mad scientist Christopher Lloyd. During his often hysterical, always amazing trip back in time, Marty must make certain his teenage parents-to-be, Crispin Glover and Leah Thompson, meet and fall in love so he can get back to the future. Directed by Robert Zemeckis, this delightful comedy adventure will make everyone want to get back to the future over and over again. The write-up is followed by some quotes. "A movie for all ages," that's from Gene Shalit of The Today Show, NBC TV. "A wonderful fantasy, a delectable comedy," from Kathleen Carroll, New York Daily News. The back of the sleeve is closed out with some picture and audio particulars, a note on the soundtrack being available on records and cassettes, and a bunch of copyright information. The tape itself contains two paper labels, one on the face and the other on the spine. Both labels have an MCA home video ink all over print as a background. The face label contains a movie logo, color identification, runtime, rating, MCA home video logo, stereo VHS hi-fi, copyright information, and an FBI warning that takes up more than half of the label. The spines label features the movie title logo, an MCA home video logo, 1986 copyright information, and printed in the USA. It's no surprise that Back to the Future, being as gigantic as it is, received more than one VHS release. As seen on this 1994 version that was printed in Canada, there are subtle differences throughout, including a slightly darker blue for the front cover's background, updated company logos, a different font for the production credits, an altered Back to the Future logo on the spines, and some reworking to the formatting on the backside. At some point in my childhood, Back to the Future on VHS was just one of a handful of videos my family had, and as a result the tape was watched plenty, at least several times a year. This instilled a severe nostalgia for me with Back to the Future, along with its two sequels, with endless lines frequently being quoted in our household. Part of this rewatchability is the movie's diversity. It's funny, dramatic, action-filled, and it introduced a type of sci-fi that was brand new to me. It's one of those movies where I find that on every rewatch I discover something new, whether it's a subtle background detail, a foreshadow moment, or a funny line I previously didn't pay attention to. If you hadn't already guessed, for me, Back to the Future is a must-watch, and why not do so on VHS? With that, we find ourselves at the end of our discussion of Back to the Future on VHS, and the end of episode 11 of Tape Talk Tuesday. Catch you next time. Thanks for watching Retro Video Playback.